Good evening. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news, broadcasting live and then on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news. It's Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight with Al Ferguson.
Hello, everyone. I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, Fay What? And this evening, we bring you the news of and perspective representing the LGBTQ plus community from South Florida, America, and across our planet.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same models of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission? Support the 10 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbian and queer women, trans, student youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We're part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
Our magazine is celebrating 38 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television news, talk and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus and broader community.
Let's begin by welcoming anchor Jacob Reide Jennings, a professional ballroom and Latin dancer turned real estate broker and philanthropist. Jacob leads the Sherlock Holmes Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3 to address LGBTQ plus youth housing and security. Welcome back, Jacob.
Hey, thank you so much, Faye. So I'm so excited. If you want to learn more about Sherlock Holmes, go to sherlocksholmes.org, SherlocksHomes.org. That took a minute. I don't know why. And I did want to mention that this Friday, Hocus Pocus is going to be playing at the Cape Coral Center for the Arts, right? I'm so excited about going. It's their 11th year doing it, and you can come join the Sanderson Systems at 7 p.m. at the Coral Springs Center for the Arts. You must be 18 or older.
Okay, let's be clear. Coral Springs, not Cape Coral.
Yes, Coral Springs.
Way different in space. All right. Next up, let's welcome my friend John Hayden. He's a journalist for 28 years. He is now senior reporter for Out South Florida. You could follow him on Instagram at John Hayden Journalist for breaking news and live reports from events from our community. Welcome, John.
Thank you so much, Faye. I'm excited. It's Halloween week, and we're going to get to that later, but oh my gosh, I'm just already so excited.
Oh, so am I. You wore your outfit, I see, early.
I did. I'm going as an undercover reporter.
You kind of look like a narc.
I was going to Uncle Fester. Anybody get like
Oh, I
really
love
in.
that.
I'll dress like Wednesday.
Right.
We could totally do that.
there you go.
Jacob, would you like to rub my head?
No.
Okay,
All right, next up, let's welcome anchor Scott Galvin. Some of his achievements include being the executive director of Safe Schools South Florida, a member of the North Miami City Council, and the longest serving LGBTQ plus legislator in the state of Florida, baby. Welcome back, Scott.
Well, good evening. I would have worn my Halloween costume tonight too, but I didn't want it to blend into the green screen behind me, so
It was green? You're going to be Incredible Hulk or something?
Shrek?
I have to let you know I am the Incredible Hulk, but not the exact same way that you've seen it on TV before. But now, with that said, let's welcome our anchor, Cindy Brown. Cindy is an early organizer.
Why should we do That's baseline.
Sorry.
Oh my God, she's going to cut you.
I turn it over to Faye.
Wow.
They're fighting over who's going to.
I know. Everybody wants to. That's the thing, Cindy. It's you're just so loved that Scott wants to take my job. I don't understand.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't you have enough jobs? You do a lot already, Scott.
I don't get paid for any of it.
Get off my
problem.
All right, let's welcome the incomparable anchor Cindy Brown. Cindy was an early organizer of the Miami AIDS Walk and the White Party for Care resource. She's the program's director for the Lambda Living program at Jewish Community Services, and she also served as the ED of the MDGLCC Foundation, baby. Welcome back, Cindy.
Thank you.
Oh, and happy birthday. Belated, but happy birthday, Mama.
Thank you very much.
When was your birthday?
It was last Monday. I actually had my Social Security birthday, which is 62.
Well, happy
But
birthday,
I'm not collecting Social Security because, of course, I can't afford to at this point. Anyway.
Wow, because we live here.
Right.
Got it.
Exactly. So
There's that. So, folks, we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, October 25th. Let's begin by queering up breaking news. Queer News Tonight historic live broadcast from Athens, Greece on Monday, November 6th. Queer News Tonight team strives every day to ensure you get recent updates about the LGBTQ plus community from South Florida, America, and across the world. As we announced yesterday, we are reporting live for 11 days while traveling through Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. To keep the promise, we will do a live broadcast from beautiful Athens on Monday, November 6th. We're bringing you the top news from the LGBTQ plus community, no matter where we are. Make sure to stay tuned as we bring you the global headlines from some of the world's most historic locations. And I, for one, haven't packed yet. Don't get me started. But I'm vibrating. I'm so excited about doing this that I am like a butterfly vibrating.
Yeah.
The ability to go to any of these countries and be able to still relay the queer news of our community back to everyone here is just mind-blowing. The fact that, Al appointed me to be the lead anchor for this. I'm a woman, I'm a Latina woman, and I'm a big old dyke. Okay, so the fact that I am a queer woman leading the queer news team from Egypt, Athens, you're
the
Cairo.
perfect choice, though.
Do you
Faye.
think so?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You deserve that recognition.
You worked hard, honey.
Absolutely.
And on the upside, you're loud enough that if you can wake the dead, all the pharaohs are going to be rising out of the pyramid.
He has a point.
That's not Greece.
No.
on,
He's
man.
talking. No, he's talking about Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I love how Cindy's like, that's not Greece. Where are you? But in Greece, it's going to be beautiful with amazing skies. And the first day, we're going to bring you Queer News Tonight from the rooftop of an incredible hotel right in the heart, of Athens. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been. I know that some of you folks have.
So historic.
So
Soak in
historic, right?
Everything that you can, because the reality is that we don't know how long these historical ruins are going to last.
Wow.
Well, when Fay gets there and she starts speaking, they're just going to crumble. So we got till October,
Don't
November.
say that. And there was an additional leg to this trip that unfortunately was canceled because of the current events happening in Israel, with Hamas. And we were supposed to go to Israel. And my mom converted to Judaism a couple of years ago, and for her, I wanted to do some special things, like the wall and certain things like that. And I was bummed. I mean, obviously. Please, you know what I mean? What's going on now is way bigger than anything.
There'll be another time for you to go.
And I hope there will be, and if there's not, then it wasn't meant to be, And I can't say that I'm not a little scared. I know that I'm protected by the universe and wonderful energy, but people keep on sending me messages saying, please be careful and please come back to us and, please be aware of your surroundings. And I know everybody's doing it just because they care, but it's freaking me the hell out.
No,
it's always
it's just probably a lot of them don't know the geography well enough to know that you're not going to be right where all of this is happening or all of the Israeli war is happening.
What event are you looking forward to most? Like, what are you looking forward to doing as a tourist in Greece?
As a child, I still love cats immensely, and black cats are my favorite. And as a kid, I loved pyramids and King Tut and black cats. And they always held cats in high regard, like they would worship cats, So I'm looking the most forward to seeing the pyramids, going into King Tut's tomb, taking a picture in a big red dress in front of a camel.
So Egypt is your thing you're looking most forward to.
I think so. But like you said, I'm going to take every day. Yeah. And every single day, I'm going to find out what the queer news is for our community. I'm going to relay it back here while also telling you what I did that day. you know, and maybe along the way I'll be able to find some queer Greek people and some queer Egyptians and some queer that'll come on the show with me, and I'll be able to bring that to you folks as well. I'm beyond humbled. I'm beyond overwhelmed. I, can't thank Al Ferguson enough for entrusting me enough to do that, because you guys know Al.
I know.
He would not allow me in that chair if he didn't think I was ready, And I'm going without John. So I'm a little freaked out.
So much.
But please stay tuned to Queer News Tonight. During that time, we will be bringing you all the latest news. And I'm excited. Right?
Excellent.
Right.
We're excited for you.
Thank you.
You're going to be great.
Next, let's queer up technology. Iconic transgender tech genius Lynn Conway to be inducted into National Inventors Hall of Fame. Transgender genius Lynn Conway will be inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame later this month. Conway and co-inductee Carver Mead transformed the global microelectronics industry by inventing a revolutionary technology that allowed small teams of individuals to design powerful chips like the one powering your laptop right now. Semiconductor firms, circuit designers, and system architects largely worked apart from one another in the 70s. College students typically studied device physics or integrated circuit design, but not both, while manufacturers used individual design and fabrication methods. Mead and Conway worked together to develop an approach to streamline the process. Their groundbreaking textbook introduction to VLSI systems became the Chip Designer's Handbook. A Columbia University graduate with a master's degree in electrical engineering, she is a professor of electrical engineering and computer science emerita at the University of Michigan. Conway has 5 U.S. patents and is truly a transgender icon. Conway credits libraries for launching her career and subsequent inventions. She says the stories of the adventures of people have always inspired her and impacted her deeply. This statement holds a significant value amidst the present political environment where the attacks on education and book bans have been nonstop by Republicans. Oh my God, kudos to Miss Conway. How incredible.
Absolutely.
I always say that I try to be the dumbest person in my group, okay? I love to surround myself by very smart people, all right? That is how bad things don't happen to you, right? I'm watching The Walking Dead, right? End of the world stuff. So I'm putting together a list of people that I would want with me at the end of the days, right? People that can build things, people that are good with their hands, people that are good at organizing. Miss Conway, you're on my list, mama. You're coming on the FayWhat crew.
Yeah.
End of days, I'll be looking for you.
I remember as a small child, my mother would read Introduction to VLSI Systems to me at bedtime, and so many good memories stem from that. But seriously though, congratulations. I mean, this is a hell of an honor. It's a field that literally, like you said, touches us all, like right now.
Bing!
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is your legacy.
Yep.
Right.
This is your legacy. And the fact that you're finally getting some recognition in the public square is fantastic. And since this goes back to the 70s, most definitely long overdue.
Yeah, I'll just say ditto to what you guys said. I'm in awe.
Mm-hmm. Right?
I understoed like 2 words in that entire
Exactly.
story.
Did
I'm not
anybody
gonna lie.
else feel a
That's
little
why
bit
I'm
dumber
in awe.
after? I'm just funny.
Absolutely.
Semiconductor what? I was trying to take notes. I'm like, and I can't
Is that
know.
someone who only conducts half the symphony?
Yes.
I think-
yes, that is
yeah.
exactly
When
it.
Fay said she always tries to make sure she's the dumbest person in the room and surrounds herself by smart people, I can honestly say I'm almost always the dumbest.
You're silly, Scott.
That's okay, Scott.
You're
I
silly,
know,
Scott.
but
John, what's next, baby?
Right.
Well, now we queer up out South Florida. Tis the season to be witchy. Gay Christmas is here. In this week's Out South Florida, I take a look at LGBTQ plus Halloween events from Fantasy Fest in Key West to Moonfest in West Palm Beach. And, of course, the epicenter of our Halloween, Wicked Manors. This year's theme, Little Drive of Horrors, is Tuesday, Halloween night. There will be costume contests, starting with one for kids at 6:30 and getting progressively more adult as the night goes on. Stages will line the drive from Tropics down to the Manor Complex and have DJs, performers, and more. Some bars, like the Pub, will have their own costume contests. Tap That Ash is having its first Wicked Manors and is celebrating all weekend with happy hour running from Friday all the way through Halloween and a costume contest every night. Co-owner Diane Resnick told me, quote, Tap That Ash is ready to thrill, surprise, and fulfill every spooky desire you may have. But the Wicked Witch of the North is sitting in Tallahassee and casting a shadow over the celebration. The Pride Center produces the event, and CEO Robert Boo told me that while drag queens generally and drag performers specifically will be allowed, a code of conduct banning lewd behavior will be enforced. A federal judge put Governor Ron DeSantis' anti-drag law on hold, but organizers are taking a better safe than sorry approach. This is the Pride Center's biggest fundraiser of the year, a true community celebration. You can get more details in South Florida right now on stands about all the LGBTQ plus Halloween parties that are kicking off well, they probably already kicked off, but for purposes of this article, they kick off Friday night. And there's going to be so much good and so much joy. And it really is a chance, I don't need to go back through the history about how, this is our chance to when the weird blend in, it's our night to come out. But there's so much good happening on the drive. The pub this last weekend opened up their Pride Hub patio.
Oh, cool.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Shops of Alibi, or Shops of Wilton Manors, Alibi Plaza, always has such a great thing. And it's just an opportunity for us to celebrate. And so often I get up here and I do doom and gloom stories or stories that, are affecting us in a negative way. And I love when I get to do this because this is our time, people. Dress up right now.
So what are you going to be? What are you going to be for Halloween?
Undercover reporter.
Okay.
What about you, Scott?
Okay. So my partner and I are going as Bert and Ernie.
Oh,
wow, that's a stretch.
Which are you?
I'm going to be Bert.
So you're the top.
Well, I'm the tall one at least.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and I'm yellow. So
So there's that.
Yeah.
So I have 11 events that I have to get dressed up for, right?
Are
So
you wearing something different to each
I
one?
have to. Hello, it's me. You folks know. You take a picture of me. I can't wear that thing again. But one of the, you guys watch Encanto? Right? So my wife is Luisa and I'm Maribel for one of them. It's going to be a lot of fun. She has no idea.
She knows now.
But gay Christmas is just, like you said, it's our holiday. And it's when we get to be, maybe many people that maybe are still in the closet are able to be their true authentic selves because you blend in with everybody else, right? So find the party that suits you or find a party near you. Like John said, the drive is amazing and it's family friendly and it's not just gay. It's everybody that's there for Halloween, And it's the 31st, so it's a school night. It ends early if you want to go early. If you want to travel to Miami, we've got Save, at our house. I will be there this weekend with Athena Dion and Latrice Royale. There's just there's party after party after party. Go pick up out South Florida and you'll see all the parties that are there. Find your favorite outfit, find your favorite boo and take them along with you. Right?
Sounds good.
Next, let's queer up health. Queer Eye's Karamo Brown speaks on mental health at Elmhurst University. As the culture expert on Netflix hit Queer Eye and host of nationally syndicated talk show, Karamo Brown is known for the ease with which he relates to other people, helping them to discover strength in their identities. Drawing from his own experiences and work in social services, Karamo will talk about the mental health journey, especially for young people, during, quote, Mental Health Matters, a conversation with Karamo, end quote. That is the topic for this year's Roland Quest lecture at Elmhurst University. NBC Chicago medical and health reporter Lauren Petty will serve as the moderator for the event, to be held on Tuesday, November 14th at 7 p.m. An Emmy-nominated host on Queer Eye, Karamo has his own podcast named Karamo, where common people receive advice or share their feelings on some of life's thorniest issues. He has also published his memoir, Karamo, My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope, exploring how exploring the challenges in his own life have allowed him to transform the lives of those in need. Karamo is the recent recipient of the 2018, Human Rights Campaign Visibility Award, and he meets with members of Congress on policy and legislation supporting LGBTQ youth and their allies on both sides of the aisle. How many times did I say Karamo exactly? There were eight times in that.
There was one
changed
missing.
My mind. I'm going to go for Halloween. I'm going to go as Karamo.
I could see
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
culturally
I don't think it'd be ideal.
Yeah, that's tricky. I
Wrongly
probably
advised.
wouldn't.
Why?
Stick with Bert.
Yeah, I think you're good with Bert, Bobby.
Because I'm not bald?
Because you're not on Queer Eye.
And you also,
Yeah.
you also want to keep your job.
Okay.
So,
I don't get paid for any of it.
I love Karamo and I love Queer Eye and what it's become, right? It used to be just like, boys came and they made a straight boy, look better and they fixed his house and they taught him how to cook. Now they go to anybody. They'll go, they'll show the life of a trans person, or it'll be a gay person, or it'll be a straight person, or an ally, or whatever it is.
Or a common person,
Or,
apparently.
But Karamo always comes with the mental health side of it, the mental
Which is very
well-being,
important.
the spiritual side, right? The inner child kind of help work, like he brings that to the table, and there's still a stigma around all of that, in our community. So I think he's just such a perfect person to speak on this.
He's got a wonderful platform from which to do it, or as you just said, multiple platforms, but that's fantastic. And we laugh a little bit because there was so much, but it's great that there's so much because he's talking about this on his podcast, his show, all of that. And, we don't talk about mental health. We need mental health is health.
Yeah.
Let's just say that right away.
Absolutely.
Mental health is health. Faye, why am I not going to Greece next week? Because I can't.
Because you're so anxious that you can't.
I am too anxious, anxiety, and
That's your
it's a
mental
real
health.
thing.
Yeah.
And, so the fact that he's out here and he's talking about queer mental health specifically, we face our own problems. We face our own set of issues, and he
Absolutely.
speaks to it from a point of view that we can all relate to.
Yeah.
And I think it's also important for the LGBT community, if you are seeking out mental health services, that you find an appropriate place to receive those services and make sure that whatever counselor or therapist or organization is sensitive to the differences that we as LGBT people experience day by day.
Yeah.
And I think that given his profile, I think it's super, super important that he's out there talking about it, because I think a lot of people in the queer community don't seek help for fear that whoever they're going to see is not going to see them or hear them as they are.
Yeah.
So by him speaking out and, making sure that people go to folks that are going to see them and hear them.
No, and
Yeah,
and last point that I'll make about Karamo is I think it's even more important for a man of color to be speaking at one of these events, because as a brown girl myself, if I'm sitting in the audience and I'm looking at someone of color saying I've got mental health issues and I am willing to talk about it and seek help, I will be more thinking of going to find help on my own. If it was just a white cisgender man, I probably wouldn't pay so much attention. So kudos.
And if you are in South Florida and you do need to speak to somebody, SunServe was founded for our community's mental health. So you can go directly to them at sunserve.org and see what they can do to help you help yourself.
And if you're in Miami, you can visit Jewish Community Services, who serves far more than the Jewish community. And we have specialized counselors and therapists for all ages.
Well, on that note, let's next queer up sports. The National Hockey League reverses anti-rainbow policy just days before the first Pride Night game. The NHL has reversed its decision to ban pride tape and other cause-oriented displays by the players on the ice. The league front office reportedly had been in touch with its Player Inclusion Coalition, which recommended a rescinding of the ban that squashed individual voices of players. In the press release, the NHL confirmed that players can voluntarily represent social causes with their stick tape throughout the season. This decision was reached after consulting with the NHL Players Association and the NHL Player Inclusion Coalition. You Can Play board member David Palumbo celebrated the decision, calling it a win for the community. And Hudson Taylor, founder and executive director of Athlete Ally, also praised the decision. He said that supporting themed celebrations helped players to celebrate, he said that celebrating I just stepped all over that.
You sure did.
And
it helps them raise awareness.
It helps them raise awareness and spread awareness on the issues that matter to them and to the league, which has now corrected a mistake. And the entire LGBTQ plus community can celebrate the change. Speculation was swirling for much of the last 2 weeks about the NHL's handling of the league's first Pride Night of the season with the Arizona Coyotes. Travis Dermott had already used the tape on the ice during a game for the Coyotes. This decision was inevitable, and it is going to help the NHL show that they appreciate all the LGBTQ plus fans who have otherwise would have turned their backs on the league. And I'm glad to see that the NHL is going to handle this situation a whole lot better than I handled that last series.
We all tripped. You did great.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
If I hadn't been chugging vodka in the car on my way up here, I wouldn't have
Well,
stopped.
and maybe those poppers had something to do with it. I mean, things happen. I understand.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's great. I do have to say, though, that I don't think I have ever watched an ice hockey game in my entire life.
Really?
But I celebrate the NHL's decision to do this. I'm a Miami girl. We didn't get a hockey team until...
The Panthers didn't come in for a while, right?
I mean, I was already, they weren't around
cold
when
in
I
there.
was growing up. But so I didn't grow up with hockey. I grew up with the Dolphins and not even the Marlins because they weren't around back then.
Hockey
No.
is my favorite sport to watch live.
Really?
Is it?
Where are you
Isn't
from?
it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Well, because they beat
DC.
up each other, right?
Yes,
Because they beat each other up. Is
they
that
land
why?
the glass. Yes, it's like figure skating but violent. It's great.
Yeah.
And then
everybody
they have
has
to go
types
sit
of-
in that box. I know
In the
that.
early 90s, figure skating was violent as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Oh, I can carry it.
I'm looking at you, Tanya.
Yeah, right?
My goodness.
You know
Why?
You know, one of the things that I really love about this, if going back to last season, all the teams had, or most of the teams had their Pride Nights, and some players were like, I'm not going to wear the jersey, I don't agree with LGBTQ, whatever. This season, it's the players turning the tables and saying, we want this.
Yeah.
We want this. It's not the
Yeah.
owners forcing them on it. And so that really says a lot about where we're going. And there's probably still going to be some, negative
backlash,
Nellies out
of course.
there.
There's
But the
always
Panthers
that.
are at every LGBTQ event.
They
We
sure
had
are.
had Pride Fest, the Caribbean Pride, a couple months ago. There was a booth with the Panthers and a couple of staffers there, handing out some cool keychains and stuff. I mean, it was just
Right.
cool. They
Yeah.
support and they really mean it. You get, if you can just tell, the Gay Men's Chorus will come to a game that's usually in March. They'll come to a game and they'll sing the anthem and they'll put the pride tape on their sticks. It's really great. And Cindy, if you want to come up and go to a game on a Saturday afternoon or
how
something,
cute.
I would be totally
would
down
love
to do
that.
it. It's a
I would
really
love
fun
that.
event. And the arena, whatever it's called now, where the Panthers play, is a really good venue. So
Okay.
we'll have some fun and go.
Excellent.
It is.
I'll take you up on
And
that.
I'll try to, and I'll go with you folks.
Oh,
because when I
awesome.
went to the game, nobody fought, and I wanted my money back.
So you need another chance.
So I
to
need
see
another
a
chance
fight.
also. Yep.
Yeah. Well, now let's queer up politics. Participants in PFLAG event at the Capitol claim mistreatment from Rick Scott and Ted Cruz staffers. Participants in PFLAG's lobby day, who recently met at the congressional offices of members representing their states and districts, said they were mistreated by aides for Republican U.S. Senators Rick Scott and Ted Cruz. By contrast, after the opening meeting of PFLAG's national convention, the participants said that staff for other members, including other Republicans who include U.S. Reps Aaron Bean and Beth Van Dyne and U.S. Senator John Cornyn, were positive, affirming, and respectful. Cindy Hill Nobles, president of PFLAG Jacksonville, stated how she got incensed when an aide in Scott's office openly smirked, while she recounted how her son once contemplated suicide because he was bullied extensively after coming out as gay in 4th grade. She said the staffer accused her of trying to put porn in the hands of children after she told him about the banned books club that she formed with the local church to offer better access to stories with LGBTQ plus characters and narratives that might mitigate bullying and potentially spare other children and families from the pain hers had survived. Scott's communications director, McKinley Lewis, who was not in attendance, addressed Hill Noble's account of the meeting in an emailed statement saying the claims are not true. I think that it is horribly disrespectful when you have constituents, whether they're meeting with the elected official or aides, that get openly mocked. And this is such an important issue. She was speaking about her son's contemplation of suicide, and the aide was smirking. It's really disgusting, and it's a very, very sad state of where some of our politicians stand. I mean, several of the Republicans they met with were able to hear their stories with empathy and respect. And it's just ridiculous how others feel that,
that they can treat
that they
somebody
can
like that. Yeah.
openly mock them.
Well, I mean, but look who they work for, Cindy. They work for healthcare fraud, and confuse Mr. Cruz. I mean, like, seriously, like, they work for these a-holes. Of course they're going to act like that, There's nothing worse than a parent that fears their child might kill themselves when they're not looking. Can you I can't imagine that feeling. I can't. And you're going to go and smirk at her while she tells you that?
They have a responsibility to hide that disdain, even if they feel it.
Yes!
Safe Schools took kids up to Tallahassee last February, not this February, but February 2022, when Don't Say Gay was being originally discussed and debated. And we took kids around Capitol Hill, and they met with different legislators. And we went to the office of the sponsor of the bill, the House sponsor of the bill, whose name escapes me right now. But he was too busy to meet with the kids, so he sent out an aide who was quite pleasant.
Not the guy who got arrested recently, right?
Well, there's an end to this story.
Oh, sorry.
So, no, but what I was going to say is he was too busy to meet with the kids, so we sent out an aide. Aide was very pleasant, but we weren't out of his office and back toward our bus 20 minutes when he was snarkily tweeting Safe Schools, saying snarky stuff about the kids and stuff. And it God. Just, I mean, it's like, wow, dude, like you're so busy that you couldn't meet with us, but not so busy
that you can't
post about it.
Tweeting kids. But the story does end happily. He was sentenced to prison earlier this month.
Yay.
So,
good.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting happy ending.
Right. Go to jail.
There are so many kids out there that these aides will never meet.
Right.
But they'll still be smirking.
Exactly.
These are heartless people. They don't care. You know what a dead kid means to a Republican? It means one less person they're going to have to counter their vote. That's all they care about. Yeah. And, we say change is generational. Steve, I don't know, can we bring back that last image of the aide that was supposedly smirking for one of the people? Yeah.
He looks so gay.
My God, Cindy.
No, that is, and I don't want to be too disrespectful here to our Jewish community, that's the Hitler Youth. That is the next generation of evil people that are going to push these policies forward. This guy should be standing on a stage singing "Tomorrow Belongs to Me" in a production of Cabaret, because that's all the good he is worth.
I think he's horrible, but I think
I would probably use some different words.
There's too much division in our country already to go and make blanket statements that all Republicans are going to be happy with a dead child and that's going to counter their vote. I will disagree with that. There are people who are unable to be compassionate, and there are other people who just don't know, and they need to be educated. They exist, and we need to honor that. And we don't need to make blanket statements that put an entire population, 50% of our population, in a negative category, because not all Republicans are against us.
Absolutely.
Not all Democrats are for us.
Right. Yeah.
And if we don't acknowledge that, we're going to continue to add to the division, and that is irresponsible on our platforms. We have to make sure we honor this. Yes, their policies are not fair. I do not agree with them. As a general statement and blanket, I do think that they have problems, but I do not think that Democrats are here to save the day, and I don't think Republicans are here to kill us. It's going to take the silent majority to step up and get out there and vote. That's who's hurting us the most.
Right.
So actually, if you do care about dead children, get out there and vote, please.
Or even better, Jacob, run for office.
Run for office.
Sir.
I got too many sex tapes out there.
That's okay. No excuses.
Melania got it, right?
Yeah.
What's next,
Run
Jacob?
for office. Run for office.
Oh, that's me, isn't it? Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience, watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring attention to the entire broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Fay What? And on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Jacob Reide Jennings, John Hayden, Scott Galvin, and Cindy Brown. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.
Good night.